He's an American hero, the swim star with the most wins ever, taking home 7 gold medals in the summer of '72 and 9 gold medals in all. Welcome to my generation, Mark the Shark, Mark Spitz. How nice to have you with us. Thank you.
My pleasure. I haven't heard that term in a long time.
Well, somebody pull it out of the attic for us.
Exactly.
Well, I wanted to start with this Tour of Champions that you're on. Tell us about that.
Well, a Tour of Champions is with a bunch of athletes that have different types of ailments. I have high cholesterol, so I take a statin drug, Lipitor of choice, to curb my high cholesterol.
Now tell me, how did you discover your cholesterol problem? When you were requalifying for the Olympics?
Yeah, I had a predisposition to have high cholesterol, but back in the days, in the early, I guess it was 90s or late 80s, a cholesterol level of about 225 was considered sort of like on the edge. But when I went to do the swimming comeback, I realized that training every day I lost like 30 pounds and I had like 2% body fat. My cholesterol went above 300.
Wow.
So diet and exercise for me wasn't going to work. I needed to be put on some medications. And within the 30 days of the statin drug, I went down below 200.
What is your regular form of exercise now? Do you still swim?
I swim about 3 times a week in a master's swim program, which is a polite way of saying it's a coached workout, but not with the idea that I would be a competitive swimmer again.
And tell me about, if you've been asked this question 1,000 times, I know, but what are some of your best memories from the '72 Olympics?
Well, certainly winning those events with all the hard work and training that I had done, it paid off. And leading up to the Olympic Games, I was sort of favored to win in the events that I held a world record in. So I sort of fulfilled that prophecy and came home with the gold, if you may.
What do you think about today's athletes?
Well, you know, I'm glad I'm not an athlete today. I mean, I think that there would be too much of a temptation to be on some kind of a drug to be performance enhancing, because if I had a contract with a major sponsor, I'd have to perform at those levels so that I'd make my sponsor happy and make myself happy. In my days, it was purely amateur. And so therefore, if I did a good deal and did a good job and won a gold medal, then somebody might be interested in hiring me, but then I had to retire from my sport. But I didn't have that desire or that need to compete at the levels that these athletes need to today to stay up on the top.
And before I let you go, the mustache?
The mustache was growing as a lark, and it was a cute story, but the bottom line to that is that I had all intentions of shaving it off, and I went to the swim pool just one more time before competition in Munich, asked to compete and actually warm up when the Russians were swimming, and they watched me swim, and they asked me, well, aren't you going to shave the mustache off? And I said, no. And they said, well, doesn't it drag you down? I said, no. I said, it deflects the water away from my mouth. I can get more streamlined. That's why I've been breaking world records. And the next year, all the Russian male swimmers had mustaches. There, go no.
Mark Spitz.
Thank you.
Such a pleasure. Thanks
My
very
pleasure.
much. Thanks for joining us.